Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are finishing up Group H in the CNSL Season 6 round of 32. Our final match here will be between Spire in the bottom left and Oregon in the bottom right. I gotta say, I do think it is a little bit Oregon favored. I honestly was pretty impressed with him in that losers match where he went up against Saber. Saber really looked like he had an advantage early on. Obviously, Saber made some mistakes that allowed Oregon to come back, but I feel like the way that Oregon played that it was just beautiful. It was pretty darn immaculate after he got behind. So I think he can put out a high quality game here on Retro against Spire. But we'll see if Spire can just hit his best play, because I think his best play obviously can give him a good shot. Now looks like a walling coming up. Don't see any early pool or anything like that, just an Overlord making, so it doesn't look like we're going to have too much aggression in the early game. I'll take this opportunity to once again thank you guys for checking out ArtosisCasts. Please do subscribe and hit that notification button. I love casting StarCraft 1. I love playing StarCraft 1. I love talking about StarCraft 1. I love everything about StarCraft 1. Well, maybe not Protoss, but everything else. But thank you guys very much for being here and checking it out. It's greatly appreciated. And if you want to support via the Patreon, that's great. No problem. That's patreon.com/Artosis. All right, so it is a pool after Overlord, and goes ahead. Gets the gas really quickly. So this looks like it's probably just going to be a very, very, very quick layer, like maybe a 240 layer. Yeah, somewhere in that range, right? So probably just really quick, really quick Mutalisks, right? Like that's what Spire is generally good at anyways. I mean, come on, he named himself after the building that allows you to make Mutalisks. He's definitely a two-hatch player and wants to get that aggression on ASAP. Now 4 lings being made while he mines some gas. Oregon getting that first scout off very nicely. He's got a beautiful wall here, so going to be very safe in that regard. And yeah, I'm excited to see this very aggressive Mutalisk play and see if it can do anything. The loop-de-loops right there. Okay, so there you have it. 237. Very, very fast layer. And to put this into perspective, right, it's probably about 20 seconds faster than if you go hatchery first into layer. Okay, so 20 seconds does make a big difference. Terran has to adjust their build order quite a bit. There's not a 2 racks push out that they can really do, right? Normally, Mutalisks will hatch around 5 minutes and 40 seconds to 5 minutes and 45 seconds. In this case, obviously going to be a lot quicker. So if you're hatching around 5:20 to 5:25 and Terrans leaving their base that build order at 5 minutes, your mutas will be out by the time they get to your natural. And when that's the case, you're just not really going to get the damage done with them. You're not likely to be able to stop any sort of, you're not able to do anything with it with the standard 2 barracks build is what I'm trying to say here. So looking over at what Oregon's doing, this kind of brings itself to what I was talking about before, right? He's a very smart player. He actually goes for 1 Rax Academy. This is a much better build to use against a very fast layer like this, and that's for multiple reasons. Number one, you're going to be able to get your scans out quicker, just in case you're a little bit nervous that, hey, maybe this could be some sort of crazy, cheesy Lurker build. Okay, and then number 2, you're going to get stim and your range a lot quicker. And that's going to allow you to help defend, because so much of this build is based off of the Mutalists getting there earlier and keeping that continual pressure on. The range and stim upgrades are incredibly important, right? You really want those kicking in by the time Zerg is able to really deal damage to you. So excellent change of build orders. He is going to have to throw down in the next about 10 seconds in engineering bay just to be safe. And we'll see about that. There it is. Yeah, just perfectly done here from Oregon, I would say. Like, really, really nice. The Spire is almost finishing up. So, basically, both these guys are nailing it, right? Third base going up here for Spire. His lings continually going out and kind of spreading around the map, looking, seeing if they can find anything. This is the second time we've seen him do this. I didn't show before. But you can see him doing these beautiful spreads. And what he's looking for is just any sort of marine move out that he may have missed, like, for instance, with this Overlord, or any SCV that's trying to scout, right? Like, if you're trying to sneak an SCV out, maybe figure out where his third base is, that type of maneuver. So, third barracks coming up. Has that +1 going, has range going already. Really, really nice here for Oregon. I'm liking it a lot. This turret's kind of weird because it doesn't really defend that. Maybe he's planning on utilizing Marines and Medics to block. Now, looking over here, right? What did I say? 540 to... well, actually, he pops them closer to a regular 2-hatch timing. That's kind of funny. But it did get, Oregon to alter his build quite a bit here. So those Mutas come out, and they aren't going to be able to find any damage. These turrets are done well in time because, again, Oregon is kind of timing it based on the layer. It's a funny thing you can do, right? You can push back the timings of anything you're doing and, like, just kind of make your opponent react to what should be there, and it might not be there. This is a common move at lower levels, although not on purpose. So right now, the Marine Medic outside the base, he does have range, so he's really not afraid of 6 Mutalisks at the moment. These Mutalisks will pull back for now. See what type of harassment damage that he can get done. Little group of Zerglings on the side. That third base getting up. He did get a very fast carapace here, by the way. And, well, I mean, the defense just seems so good from Oregon. Like, he's just... we haven't seen Spire be able to do anything. But the thing is, you don't necessarily need to dive right away. Now, I see a Queen's Nest coming up. This is at the third base. You're less likely to scan that. But this looks like it could be a Guardian Rush. That's what it looks like to me, honestly. And the factory has not started yet, so oh, no, there it is. Never mind. Sorry about that. It was way down at the bottom, so I did not end up noticing that. But the Guardian Rush is not a terrible idea. A lot of high-level Zergs are utilizing Guardian Rushes lately, and they're doing pretty darn well. Just the execution of it and the speed of those Guardians, it can be difficult for Terran to hold on. But honestly, we haven't seen, like, basically any high-quality harassment yet. Like, he's built up the Mutalist count. He's almost got that armor upgrade. In fact, the armor upgrade is going to finish before the +1, I believe. And that's going to be very, very helpful. And now these are the types of moves you need. If you're going to rush up to those Guardians, you definitely want to be picking off some Marines and Medics, lowering that count, because it's really about critical mass. Critical mass and the timing of the move out for Terran to defend against such a build. So full group of Mutas here. They do have that +1 armor, so the +1 attack doesn't really do anything for Oregon. Just kind of negates that quick +1 armor. And look, he's getting an armory, and he's getting 2 starports. So this is exactly what you want. Adding the 4th racks as well. I think that's about all you can really do is 4 barracks and 2 starport Valkyrie. That's like uses up all of your money in this matchup on 2 base. So right now, some Zerglings come in for a flank. He does stim up with the rest of his Marines, so he actually gets a few kills in there. Kills off most of the Zerglings as well. And just continual production coming out from Oregon. So very, very good. Down here, the hive is done. Oh, okay. So I was pretty sure it was going to be a Guardian Rush. And because you see Oregon going for the armory, he actually agrees. He thought this was going to be a Guardian Rush as well. But instead, he's getting Lurkers and going for a Defiler mount. So this is very tricky. Now, the fact that there's a Hydralisk Den, there's nothing weird about that. A lot of Guardian Rushes utilize Hydralisks as their anti-air to target down things such as Wraiths, if you made any, and of course, Valkyries being the primary target, and of course, tanking some for those Guardians as well. But here, going into Lurkers, like, look, he's making 7 Lurkers, and right now you're making 2 Valks. Valks don't do anything here. There's the science facility. That is exactly what you're going to need. Lurker's being morphed pretty nearby. Don't forget, like, look, 1 scan, 3 scans. So he has 4 scans total. And if you walk over hold position Lurkers, that can be enough to end the game. An interesting mix-up here from Spire. Now, I want to be clear that this is not a very optimized build he's used. He's used several tricks in this build so far. So if Oregon figures out what's going on, like this is, again, not optimized to kill. You're trying to make it so that like your opponent doesn't have the right stuff to fight against you. Now, he does a great job with those Valkyries, pushes the Mutas back, gets hit by some Lurker Spines. Consume is what you're trying to stop from killing you, basically, right? So the first Defilers will be popping out. There you go. There's the first Defiler coming down. If he gets Dark Swarms up in this area, very likely Spire's going to move on to that next round. Look at this. Gets in on top of the bunker, killing off so many Marines. The rest of the Marines trying to come back, but this is so many Lurkers. Dude, I think Spire's going to do it. It really looks like he's going to be able to knock out Oregon here. The Valkyries coming in will dismantle these Mutalisks, but we have that first Defiler, and if he gets one Dark Swarm down, this game is all but over. Consume is cast. Dark Swarm goes down. He keeps the Defiler alive. 4 Lurkers in the natural. You're now stuck in your bases, Oregon. He has a small group of Marines and Medics here. His best move would be to go over here and stop reinforcements. If he can stop reinforcements, there's a possibility he can clean everything up. We just heard the Defiler die. Must have been an Irradiate there. Looks like he is catching some units over here. Really good. There is another Defiler. Oregon's oh no, Oregon's Medics go in a completely different direction. Very standard move for Medics. A lot of Lurkers sitting down this ramp. You just simply can't push until the Dark Storm's done. The Siege Tank will help out with that. He's actually getting Siege Mode. Yeah, I guess Siege Mode's okay here. The thing is, Siege Mode doesn't really help against Dark Swarm, so sometimes it's like a waste, but look at this. Another Dark Storm going off on the ramp. He's got to pull back. He's going to lose the tank. Oh, while he was getting Siege Mode. The Bioforce going to try a counterattack. That third base pretty wide open. Overlord's in that top left. I don't know if you'll find that. But maybe he can kill off this base and still have a chance here. It's not like there's a great economy going on after you kill that base off, especially with the Valkyries killing off so many Overlords. Okay, right now we have Defense Matrix Fire Bats. Oh my god. Craziness is going on right now. Another Siege Tank gets picked off. A lot of Lurkers here. Hydra's even going after this command center. The Bioforce going to be able to take out the Hydralist Den, maybe the Queen's Nest as well. A lot of Fire Bats being made. Like, if he can kill these Lurkers, he actually still has a chance. I know it looks insane right now, and this looks so bad for Oregon, and it is so bad for Oregon. I think he's probably dead. But, again, if you can clear this, if you can regain your main base, there's nothing going on for Zerg back at home. Defiler Ling, that's it. That's playable. Like, you can just make Fire Bats and beat that. He's killed off a lot of the other tech. Now, lifting off some of these barracks, some of them dying, some of his buildings dying. He's lost the factories, lost a barracks there. Okay, he is going to be able to pick this one off, and he keeps that tank alive just barely. All right. Hey, this Siege Tank doing quite a job right now. Oh, the double Dark Storm. Well, you don't need a double, but just a Dark Storm getting off. Man, kind of crazy. In the meantime, we have Marines over here just devastating the natural expansion. A few Lings coming out. I think he'll just be able to clean this up with those Zerglings now. This is absolute insanity. We actually have a base trade going on right now. Cannot believe what I'm seeing. Spire moves forward towards the SCVs. Okay, this might be the death knell. Like, there's nothing really left here at this point. He's making a Wraith to try to have something that can shoot Lurkers since he doesn't have tanks anymore. And 1-2 Barracks Marines is not going to be enough to kill this many Lurkers, Dark Swarm or no. So the command center has to lift. The SCVs trying to evacuate. A hard-fought game here. Oregon dealing a ton of counter damage, but at the end of the day, it looks like Spire will eliminate the seasoned pro gamer in Oregon and move on to a round of 16. Really fantastically done. That's kind of a big moment, I think, for Spire. You know, this was a bit of a tough group with Mihu winning it in first place. But Spire's got to be feeling pretty happy with himself. He mixed it up a whole bunch. And look, this is the last moments of Oregon. While he tries to micro these Marines around, you know, he knows how little there really is at home. Look at this, 8 drones for Spire. And that is it. Spire advances to the round of 16.